Joe Biden said he is going to choose a black woman for the Supreme Court. So if you're that nominated woman and you can't define what a woman is, then what are you? What is, I mean, we play these games, these head games, and we go along with them just because it's the left. We're afraid of being attacked by the HR department of our corporations or the media or whatever it is. But the whole thing is insane, absolutely preposterous. And I would think the women's movement and women all over the country would be furious with this. I mean, men largely don't care in that it doesn't directly affect them, except in a sort of as observers of this, or unless you have a wife or a daughter or a sister or niece or what have you, who's directly affected by this, and they will be. But this is really an attack on women. It's an attack on womanhood. It's an attack on the whole notion of being female. So I don't know. I don't know why these groups aren't rising up. They certainly should be. Marsha Blackburn was very, very good in her questioning of Brown Jackson, who wishes to be the next Supreme Court justice, as were several of the others, Tom Cotton and so forth. Here's a little bit of what went on the other day. Go.
With Georgetown Day School, I found it astounding that it teaches kindergartners, 5-year-old children, and I've got grandchildren. And they teach them that they can choose their gender. So is this what you were praising when you applauded the, and I'm quoting you, transformative power of Georgetown Day School's progressive education? Do you agree that our schools should teach children that they can choose their gender?
Senator, I'm not remembering exactly what quote you're...
So you don't need even to pause, or I can't remember your quote or whatever. The answer should be, of course not. God has chosen their gender. Go ahead.
Referencing, but Georgetown Day School is...
It was in a book, and you gave the quote. Okay.
Georgetown Day School is a private school.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm asking, do you agree that schools should teach children that they can choose their gender?
Senator, I'm not making comments about what schools can teach.
Let me ask you this then. United States versus Virginia, the Supreme Court struck down VMI's male-only admission policy. Writing for the majority, Justice Ginsburg stated, supposed inherent differences are no longer accepted as a ground for race or national origin classifications. Physical differences between men and women, however, are enduring. The two sexes are not fungible. A community made up exclusively of one sex is different from a community composed of both. Do you agree with Justice Ginsburg that there are physical differences between men and women that are enduring?
Senator, respectfully, I am not familiar with that particular quote or case, so it's hard for me to comment as to whether.
All right, I'd love to get your opinion on that, and you can submit that. Do you interpret Justice Ginsburg's meaning of men and women as male and female?
Again, because I don't know the case, I don't know how I interpret it.
You don't need to know the case to answer the question about Justice Ginsburg's view of male versus female, where she was quite definitive and unequivocal that there are differences between men and women. I mean, this is obvious to most men and women. Go ahead.
Read the whole thing.
Okay. Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
The meaning of the word woman.
You can't give a definition of woman because you're not a biologist? Ryan, are you a biologist? You know the difference between a man and a woman? Mr. Producer, are you a biologist? Crew, anybody here a biologist? You know the difference between men and women?
Yep.
Well, it seems to me you're qualified to be on the Supreme Court, and she is not. The reason she's dodging such obvious questions is because it will pigeonhole her in a strange way against this absurd, insane transgender movement. Go ahead.
Clear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address disputes. If there's a dispute about a definition, people make arguments, and I look at the law and I decide.
Well,
so I'm not.
The fact that you can't give me a straight answer about something as fundamental as what a woman is underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive education that we are hearing about.
The fact that she struggles for over 3 minutes, the nominee, over the definition of a woman when she was chosen, at least in part as a result of being a woman, really tells you all you need to know, that she is a radical. And any Republican who votes for her is a disgrace. Really, anybody who votes for her is a disgrace. She can't define what a woman is. Ruth Bader Ginsburg did. She didn't have any problem with that. Then she goes off about what the responsibility of a judge is. You weren't asked that. You were asked that the day before. You were asked the difference between men and women and to define a woman, and you would do neither. And at the end, you said you're not a biologist. So I think we have a problem here, what I would call a big problem.
Want to see more Mark Levin? Go to levintv.com and subscribe now.